Mamelodi Sundowns, represented today by Keagan Dolly, who is with us on the show tonight. Keagan, so far, the three that I read, they didn't mention Mamelodi Sundowns as title contenders. How does that make you feel?
Oh, I think it's very offensive, you know. But yeah, the league's just started. I think it's going to be a tough season. But yeah, they shouldn't scratch us out.
It's too early.
It's very early.
You have something in your tank that can take you all the way.
Yes, I think so.
What is that, though?
We have the style, and we have players that can play. So yeah, and we have a good coach leading us. So I think we're ready.
Let's talk about Keagan Dolly, because this is a story that I've been wanting to understand a little bit. Where were you born, Keagan?
I was born in Joburg, a small location called Westbury.
We know it. It's just behind us here.
Yeah, just there.
And Westbury, like for those people who don't know, it's rough, eh? It's one of those places that there's drugs, there's crime, there's violence, it's one of those suburbs in Johannesburg that we've even seen ministers and presidents go there and say we need to intervene in Westbury to try and bring it out of the situation it's in. So that's your background.
Yeah, I mean, growing up in Westbury is quite tough, you know. But yeah, with the years passed by, it started settling down, you know, and I was lucky enough to move out of Westbury at the age of 12, and I joined the School of Excellence. So I think that helped me a lot.
Would you go as far as saying football basically changed the person you would become?
Yeah, I would think so. Who knows what I would be with the surroundings I had when I was younger. But yeah, I was lucky enough. God gave me talent, and I used it in the right way.
Now, how do you go from, I live in Westbury, not too many prospects in terms of the future, and suddenly you're at the School of Excellence?
There were people talking, saying that Steven Pienaar was at the School of Excellence. So that was one of the main reasons why I wanted to join, because I always looked up to him. So we heard there were trials at the school, and I went there, and I was lucky enough to be one out of like 200 boys to make it to the school, and yeah, I was happy.
Have you ever met Steven Pienaar?
Yeah, you know, he has a local community tournament in Westbury called Westbury Community Tournament, and it happens to be played when the season's over. And yeah, he comes a lot, and when we see each other, we talk. You know, he always encourages me to keep on working hard, and yeah, he's just somebody I look up to.
Because I've seen it written where you've said he's your idol in terms of football. If that's the case, have you ever said that to him?
No, but I'm sure he reads stuff, you know, because I've seen a lot of stuff on social media where he mentions my name. So it's always encouraging to see that a player like him, you know, he notices me.
What about him makes you want to be like that?
The fact that he's from Westbury, and it's been rough for him, and he made the best of his career, and I think he's a great individual.
Then you go from, Keagan, School of Excellence. After that, Mamelodi Sundowns come and get you. So you actually were at Sundowns as a junior.
Yeah, I joined Sundowns in the year 2010, and I played there for 3 years, and yeah, then I went to Ajax.
And then they said, Keagan upap, you're a little bit pap, off you go. Go to Ajax.
It was actually my decision to go to Cape Town, because I thought I had more chances of playing there, you know, and because I always wanted to go to Amsterdam, you know, because of Steven Pienaar, you know.
But you're young. How do you make these decisions for yourself? You're in an academy. You're 15, whatever, 16 years of age. You decide yourself, guys, I want to leave here. I want to go.
Yeah, you know, when you reach that age, you start seeing stuff. You start realizing stuff. And I think joining Ajax at that stage was one of the best options I took for my career, you know. So yeah, I was happy with the move, and yeah, I'm back home.
Then you went to Cape Town. It's a big move for a youngster. How do you adjust? How do they make sure you're comfortable? You don't have your family around. It's completely foreign to you. I mean, you haven't even seen the ocean, I'm assuming, at that stage, and you get to Cape Town.
I did see the ocean before that.
Holiday. Now you're living with it.
It started at the school, you know, it's a boarding school for boys and you hardly see your family. So that made me get used to the whole thing of being away from my family. And when I went to Cape Town, I was already used to the fact that I'm all by myself, you know. But obviously I still spoke to my mom and dad, which they always supported me. And obviously Ajax is a good place for a youngster because they have many youngsters that breaks into the first team. So it was easy for me to settle in.
I mean, you've always spoken about your mom and your dad and your parents and where you come from. How do they feel? And what is the thing that you want to do for them? Because they've been with you this entire time. They've seen you grow to being a national team player, a Mamelodi Sundowns player.
Well, I just want to make life easier for them, you know, because they've been there supporting me throughout my life and they've been hustling, you know. So I just want to give back to them for what they put in me. So I'm trying my best to contribute to my family.
When you say they hustle, give me an example of how the family really put themselves out to make it possible for you.
You know, my dad, when we grew up, there was no car though, you know, then he'd take taxi to come and support me when I used to play at the school. So that's some of the things they used to do, you know, travel far by taxi to come and watch me play. So I just want to, you know, give back to them.
Have you bought him a car now?
Yeah.
Donkey boy. That's what we like to hear. Then, you're doing it at Ajax, you're a regular, you playing your football, you get the call up. Bafana, you're going to play against Sudan. It's that moment now. What happened?
I think I was
Because it's your only cap so far. They never called you back.
I was a bit stage fright. I was a bit nervous playing with the likes of Tulani Serero, you know. And yeah.
But he's your age. You're 22, he's like 25. What do you mean?
It's always a privilege to play with players like him. You know, he's scoring in the Champions League, so that was my childhood dream. Yeah, and when we got to Sudan, it was tough out there.
Hot.
Very hot, very
Even
hot.
at night.
Yeah, and I just couldn't get my stride, and I just couldn't get into the game.
You came on at halftime.
No, I started the game.
Oh, you started?
Yeah.
And you were taken off at halftime?
Halftime, yeah.
How did that feel?
I was just happy to be part of the team, you know. As a youngster, presenting your country, it's something big. So for me, luckily, it came at an early age, and I'll always be grateful for the opportunity I got. And yeah, I think if I keep on doing well, maybe one day I'll get another call-up.
Do you ever think about it, though? Because in that game, there were no goals in the first half, and all the goals came after you went off the field. So when you say, come and sit down, boy, it's okay. Then 1, 2, 3, Keagan is off the field. Do players think about that and think, wow, you know, clearly I was the problem?
I didn't think about it that way, you know, because it was my first game. I was just happy to be there. But now that you're talking about it, it kind of clicks, you know.
Sorry.
But yeah, I still don't think that, you know, it was good changes that the coach made, and it helped the team, and we won.
So, Bafana haven't called yet, but is that still something you want to achieve? You still want to go back to the national team?
Yeah, that's always been a dream for me, you know. But yeah, I've been playing for the under-23s and I've been scoring goals.
Yes, okay, sorry. Let's not just remind you about the bad stuff because there's good stuff to talk about as well. So let's take you to that. You scored a couple of goals just the other day against Zimbabwe. And we are close now. We're on our way to maybe going to the Olympic Games. You think this is an important stage for you? Because a lot of people look at this under-23 age group and say, it's a useless age group. You're too old. By the time you're 22, 23, you should be playing international football anyway. What are your thoughts?
I think this is a good opportunity for the national team and the 23 team as players and as a nation, because the last time since we qualified for the Olympics was, I think, 15 years ago. So for us qualifying, it would be good for South Africa, and for us it would create more opportunities for us, and who knows, maybe a few players would stay that side.
Now, Masanda, I need to hear from you. Keagan Dolly, they fetched you, they got you, they broke the bank to bring you from Ajax Cape Town to Clorkop. What have they bought? What are you planning to bring to the club this season?
Firstly, just to try and contribute to this success, you know. Get as much game time, learn from the older players, you know, and yeah, just try to keep my performance.
Now, the other thing about you is, even though you play up front, you're a winger, you're there in and around the box, you've only scored 5 goals in the PSL in 3 seasons. Is that an aspect of your game that worries you?
Yeah, the thing is, when I get into the box, I kind of get excited, you know. I see the goals and I think, yo, I'm scoring again. But then I tend to rush and then I miss, you know. But yeah, that's something I'm working on. I'm trying to improve. And yeah, I've been getting a few goals now for the national team, and I think my confidence is back. So yeah, we'll see what happens this season.
Keagan Dolly, the winger from Mamelodi Sundowns. We appreciate that you came through today. A lot of people were interested in your story.
Thanks for having me, man.
There you have him. Keagan Dolly, Mamelodi Sundowns' man. He should be doing the business in fine style on either side of the field, and hopefully he's going to do what our analysts here on the SABC always say. When you're in the box, Keagan, was telling ice. Just put ice over your body. Upole, baba. Upole. Then